Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the NFL Concerts, the live interviews. We have been gone for a couple of weeks, and we're very excited to be back. We are actually setting up a lineup of interviews all the way through the end of the year because this has become a great platform for us to introduce artists that have not only helped with the NFL Concerts in the past, but also artists that we are certainly hoping to recruit to get not only to virtual events like the one that's coming up in October, our 10th annual NFL concert that was based here in Las Vegas, but also for any future events and opportunities for these incredible musicians and artists to share their talent for a great cause. So we're going to get started with our guests today, but I did want to let you know that even though these live interviews were started during NF Awareness Month back in May, along with our first live stream event that happened early in May, which you can still watch if you go visit our YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll make sure to include a link above. But you can actually continue to give. The neurofibromatosis community is a community that is always looking for ways to make the lives of those people living with this disorder better. And if you would like to give, I will make sure to include in the description below a link to Neurofibromatosis Network and their website where you can make your contribution anytime you like. All right, so this next guest is an incredible musician. I was lucky enough to meet this young gentleman when I performed for the Starlight Foundation Gala back in 2011. It was an amazing evening, as they always are. I got to share the stage not only with the incredible Dave Koz, but with this young musician, Austin Gatus. We're excited to have him here, and I won't make you wait any longer. Austin, welcome.
Hey, Jeff.
How you doing?
Thanks for having me. I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Yeah.
So you are, the truth is you play, how many instruments do you play?
I say about, I play 5 that I'm comfortable with playing live. I've tried out a lot of instruments. Yeah,
Okay.
So saxophone, keyboards, vocals, guitar, and I've just started using flute in my live shows lately.
Really?
So I count 5, but I did play some trumpet back in middle school just to try it out.
So you don't strive to do a whole lot. You like to keep it simple. Just 5 or 6 instruments. That's enough for you.
Yeah, for now. I mean, I like composing, so it's good to know all the instruments and how they work.
Yeah, the truth is you're an amazing singer too. So I guess that's kind of 6 or 7, depending on how you're counting.
Yes, yeah.
So saxophone is that's kind of the instrument that I got to know you on. What started you playing the sax? Is there an inspiration that guided you to this instrument?
Well, yeah, I've been interested in music since I was probably 4. I was into singing a bunch of like Broadway songs, West Side Story and stuff like that. And then I don't think my interest in actually playing music came around 3rd grade when in the public schools they have the recording class for where you learn the recorder. And yeah, I remember picking that up and then go above and beyond in learning other songs on it than what was required in class. And I remember I'd constantly play that and play it in the around 4th grade. My parents decided to get me another instrument, and that's where the saxophone came into view.
Great. So it was just kind of random that you chose the saxophone, or was it your parents' choice because of the recorder?
Yeah, it was mostly my parents' choice, but the recorder and saxophone have a lot of similar fingerings. And also on top of that, my dad is a big fan of jazz. So that kind of led to him choosing the saxophone for me.
So a fan of jazz. So at what point did your dad start introducing you to the jazz saxophonists out there that many of whom you've gotten to actually get on stage with now?
Yeah, I was introduced to jazz at a really early age. I mean, my dad would play it around the house a lot, so I was really exposed to it. And also on top of that, he would go out and sing jazz standards at piano bars and stuff. So when I started picking up the saxophone and got involved in playing jazz, my dad would bring me to them, have me join him over there, and we'd play some songs together. So that was kind of my first exposure to that. And then on top of that, the middle school band director, Spencer Caldwell, I was only in fourth grade at the time, but he brought me over to his middle school jazz band to join them, and that was kind of my whole exposure to jazz, big band, and just playing in general.
That's great. So did you just sort of, when you took to the sax, did you just automatically take off? I mean, it seems like that when I met you, you were 15, I think, and you played like a seasoned professional. So is it just music in general, or do you feel like saxophone you just kind of clicked with?
Yeah, I feel saxophone I clicked with. I remember just picking up and playing that first note, and yeah, just everything felt right from there. And,
That's great.
Yeah, I just kind of took off with it.
So you have, at what point were you introduced to some of the saxophonists that you've actually gotten to share the stage with, like Dave Koz and Kenny G? You know, did you meet them because of Starlight? Or did you meet them because you were a young saxophonist who was already playing well above your level?
I met them through foundations. I met Kenny G through Rady Children's Hospital, which I was a patient, because when I was 9 years old, I was going through treatment for leukemia. And when I was inpatient at the hospital, I would often use my saxophone as a means to escape the chemotherapy. And yeah, so some of the staff just noticed that I was playing the saxophone, and they were having Kenny G play at the Rady Children's Hospital Gala that year. So Mindy Collins, who's coordinating it, she sent him a recording of my playing, and Kenny took a listen to it, and that's how we started doing a duet together there. I believe it was 2008 Gala that year.
That's great.
Yeah, we played Over the Rainbow, and then a couple of years later, I got involved in the Starlight Foundation, which is a foundation that helps and supports kids who are going through life-threatening illnesses. And I mean, Dave Koz, he's an ambassador of them. So yeah, they had me and him do a duet of When You Wish Upon a Star, 2009, I believe, for their gala.
That's amazing. So and now you, at this point, you've played with Dave more times than I can count. I mean, you've been on his jazz ship. You've done gigs elsewhere. I mean, how many times do you think you've played with Dave at this point?
Quite a few. I mean, Dave's been such a great mentor and friend to me, like the past 10 years or so since we met, and he's given me a ton of opportunities I'm very grateful for.
Yeah, it's that was one of the highlights of my entire career, is getting on stage with Dave and you at Starlight Foundation Gala that one night. Yeah. And even for our live stream event back in May, we got the same group together with Mark Vogel on piano and you and Dave on sax, and I got to sing. You know, definitely an amazing guy to perform with, as are you. So it's nice to have you back. Well, next time we'll have to get Dave on here with you when we do it.
Yeah, I was glad that we were able to do that again, though.
Yeah,
it's actually really funny because before that gala, so I happened to go to Las Vegas about a month ago, and I watched Jersey Boys for the first time, and then so yeah, I saw the show, loved it. A month later, I got notified that I was going to do this Starlight Gala with you and Dave. I saw that you were on the list too, and you were in that show. So it's really cool. I knew about you a month before I met you.
Well, that's amazing. Not many people know about me. But yeah, that was an amazing night, and yeah, I'm glad we got to redo it virtually, at least. What, about 6 weeks ago or so? So you obviously have an amazing musical talent. You know, you're a great songwriter. I've listened to a lot of the stuff on your YouTube channel, and by the way, I'll make sure to share your YouTube channel in the comments below, so that if people want to go check out more of your stuff, you can. But also, you know, you've been locked in quarantine, and sometimes I notice a lot of my friends have probably been more creative. I know I have during quarantine than anything else. So have you created any new content during quarantine?
Yeah, I have. I actually the past few months, I've actually been really getting into film and media composing. So I've been scoring like an animated short film and just kind of making some
Cool.
orchestral pieces, trying to get a composer's portfolio together. But I think that's where a lot of focus in my music is going right now, especially since being a composer nowadays, you could work from home, so it's very convenient.
Yeah.
But that being said, I do miss performing live a lot and playing music with my band. And I've been trying to write new music and record for a new EP. Hopefully, that'll release once this is all over, and then I can go and perform it live.
That's great. Well, I tell you what, if you do, I'll be there.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you actually are doing, you said you're doing a live event. Is it this Sunday that you're actually getting online at least and getting a chance to perform?
Yeah, a friend of mine, he's doing a campaign right now in association with Leukemia Lymphoma Society, and he's campaigning for the Man of the Year award. And yeah, so he's hosting a live musical event this Sunday, and I'll be joining on it for about an hour and just playing some music. And I'll put all the details in that in my YouTube community link. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, we'll definitely make sure to share that. Now, speaking of performing, you've got a tune for us today. You want to tell us a little about it?
Yeah, this one is one of my favorite standards. This is by Silver, and I think it's really important. It's spread a good message, especially today in these hard times. I know it's a good time to us right now that Black lives especially do matter in this time. And as musicians, things that we can do is educate ourselves about a lot of the music that we love today is actually like made by Black people, and that we could, yeah, just educate ourselves on that. And yeah, this one is called Peace.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you hit it. This is Austin Gatus. Austin, that was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah,
You
thanks for
know,
having me.
yeah, it's truly a pleasure. Always a pleasure to be near you when you perform. Next time, I would love it for it to be in person. So once everything changes, you have to promise to let us know what those dates look like, so that we
Yeah,
can get as many people to them as possible. And I also appreciate you playing this song that sort of it sheds light on the current movement to make sure that we really take a close look at racial inequality in this country. As a matter of fact, before we get off, I did want to share that I'm really, really excited about our next guest. It is New York Philharmonic principal clarinetist Anthony McGill. He is going to, we're going to have his interview on July 16th at 11:30 p.m. 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. He'll be with us from New York. He, of course, is also known for his not only his amazing musicality, but also because he released his own video using his music to express this. His video has been seen by well over 200,000 people at this point. And he's going to talk about that video, talk about his experience in music, just like Austin did. And we're very excited. So please join us on July 16th at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time for Anthony McGill. Until then, we'll bid farewell to Austin Gatus. Austin, thank you so much for not only sharing your talent, but sharing your time. It was truly a pleasure as always. All right, everybody. We'll see you next time. Thank you.